So good morning, good afternoon. In fact, so the title and the what I want to attack this day is how we the fintechs we can bridging the financing gap through custom centricity in terms of lending, especially for SME business. And the first that I want to address is the fact that today European SMEs are dramatically underserved by banks. Despite their important role in job creations and economic activity, SMEs still receive a disproportionately small share of the credit from the financial system. The SME gap in finance, external finance, gathering funds, staying alive, or funding expansion plans is more than 400 billion euros in Europe alone. And that goes even worse if we are looking at the global economy, the fast-growing economies, which are predictably the smaller economies, the marginal economies have a gap about 3 million US dollars, which this part influence roughly 4% of the respective countries' GDP. And that's tremendous. I mean, this is a potential that is untapped and not discovered yet. In Europe, only about half of the SMEs consider bank loans as credit lines for their businesses, according to the recent European Central Bank study. And out of this half of them, only 71% they are really successing in receiving the amount that they have been asking for. And this is if we look at Europe. But if we look at the fast growing economies in Europe, which practically is the CE economies, then we're going to see that the situation is even worse. Why I'm saying that is because if for the rest of Europe, the SMEs are looking for the banks, looking for fintechs, looking for alternative lenders in order to get their finances, in our CE region, the majority of the SMEs are simply applying to the personal loans, family and friends type of financing. So they are not looking to the banks, really looking to the banks in order to get the money that they need. And even that is somehow, let's say, bearable. But when we go and see the fact that only about half of them, as I said, are really applying for credit, and the reason that there are only half of them applying for the credit is because of the hustle of the process. I mean, just imagine going to the bank numerous times, being asked to provide documents on top of the documents, and every time you are practically your lack of confidence that the process is going to be a smooth one. Even that this effort discourages people. And at the end of this effort that we are, let's say, as investors, as entrepreneurs, we want to get the money and we go to the bank. After that, what is happening to us? We have to wait about 3 to 5 weeks to get to yes, which is a very long time. And in average, we have a 3 months time to cash. And please be aware of the fact that this kind of data was valid before COVID time. But what the pandemic brought to us? Based on the McKinsey study from last year, we discovered that the SMEs took the highest hit in terms of financial influence during the pandemic time. So about 20% of the SMEs are defaulting on loans, they are closing their doors, and they are really having problems in maintaining the level of financing, a proper level of financing that will secure their business. You are going to say that, okay, all of these can be eased up by the digitalizations. We all have been in this business for, I don't know, about 10 years. We're speaking about digitalization. We're speaking about the artificial intelligence. We're speaking about technology increasing the process capabilities. And above all, we even have right now policies that allow us to do remote KYC and transactional data. And don't get me wrong, in the last 2 years, we have observed a tremendous increase in demand of digitalization offers in terms of how the banks are looking to get on board the SMEs, how the banks are going to do the KYC, because all the national banks are are pushing our banks in order to do at least once every 2 years an update of data. So this is something that is moving forward, but it's moving forward in whatever is compulsory in this regulatory. But in terms of loans, we're still slow. The biggest question that we have to answer to ourselves is there a method? Is there something to be capable of cracking the code for successful banking? Do we have a solution for that? Can we put something innovative in order to transform the SME lending and to address the increasing competitions that, by the way, the banks are having from us fintechs they have to overcome the changing regulation, and of course, and above all, evolving on customer expectations. What can we do? I mean, in order to crack that, we had devoted in FintechOS a large amount of time, and we have been looking at the basis. And what we consider one of the things that is basic right now, what is the basic need of everybody? Everybody wants a personal product. Everybody needs something that fits in and it's tailored for itself. Because, I mean, who knows better than what I need? And my need is unique, yeah? And banks right now are extremely well placed to reimagine their core lending products. For example, just offering short-term pop-up loans for top-up loans for SMEs, or just postponing or rescheduling the payments during the pandemic time. We could really enhance the satisfaction for the SME clients. And what is really required from the banks in order to do that? It's simply that they need to use their data. They need to be the data they have. They need to apply analytics. They need to be smooth. They need to have processes that are very well smoothened, very well, let's say, orchestrated. By doing so, several banks have achieved tenfold increase in their data-driven recommendation success, and some of them are even increasing the sales rate by 30%. But please don't take me wrong, just having and working on the data is not enough. There is always a link between what we do in the terms of digitalization and what the relationship manager are doing. We need to involve, and whenever we start a digitalization process, we have to involve also the process part of the bank to buy in the people, because people have to adopt and adapt their way of doing business, daily business, to the new tools. Otherwise, the tools are not going to be effective. And being effective is one of the things that we need to be. Why I'm saying that? Because as I said, as I presented early on, time to apply, time to yes, and time to cash are things that our SME clients right now are really, really interested in. For traditional banks, lending has emerged as a priority area for digital innovation because this represents the opportunity to tackle the high cost, to boost customer experience, and to catch up with the newcomer setting in the place of change. And an end-to-end automated digital loan orientation procedure can reduce time to yes, as I said, down to 10 minutes, can give us time to cash down to 24 hours. And please believe me, this is what our customers, the SMEs, are looking for. And the SMEs desire, or the owners, the entrepreneurs, they are looking even further. They have a burden. They really have a burden. Because when I'm saying the burden is because they want to do their business. Look, exactly. They want to do what they know best. And what they know best is the business where they are. They don't want to do accounting. They don't want to make especially payments or stuff like that. And there are studies that say that 1/3 of SMEs that are already using or have expressed an interest in using a range of services to help them run their businesses. This is a huge opportunity for the banks. Why? Because part of these SMEs are really happy, would be really, really happy to pay, to have a monthly fee for value-added services. Just pay the money as a monthly fee and take your burden, take your problem away from you, take the problem away from you. Why I'm saying take the problem away from you? I mean, I would like to have an early warning system whenever I do have a problem in my financing. I would like to know in advance why it's happening, or what are the countermeasures that I would like to have, or how I can apply with them. Because otherwise, I will be completely. I will be always. I will use half of my time in order to pay attention to how my financing are doing, instead of concentrating my entire energy and my entire knowledge in order to develop my business. So the route to building an SME ecosystem, because that's the point here. That's the point. Is the point that where the banks can make a step forward with the SME and try to merge, try to integrate into the SME's business, is that the fact that we could offer products beyond our core banking normal products. We could bring innovation. The banks could bring innovation, and in such approach banks would be capable to provide services for example, like accounts receivable management, factoring, which is already classic right now, accounting, cash flow analysis, and early warning of your cash flow problems. For these banks they really need to have the ability to connect and interlink with the business from a diversity of sectors. To do this, the banks should embrace the API-enabled platform designed to allow multiple stakeholders and to provide from providers to end users to have a seamlessly connect, to interact and exchange values. They need to be flexible, they need to be open, and this flexibility and openness give us the biggest chance here. And I would like to share with you what we have done, and one idea that we have is that, for example, we could do a part of the SME banking, customer-centric SME banking, in terms of cash flow. What we have imagined here, we have imagined a system where the SMEs practically open up their data to their bank provider, and the bank practically absorb the data, monthly data from SME's cash flow, and as banks are automatically reviewing the SME's cash flow health. This review can be done by the own bank systems, or the bank can integrate it with the third-party engines for analyzing this cash flow. This can be done seamlessly through API connectivity of our platform. So, in the case the SME's cash flow, let's say, represents or gives signs of negative cash flow, the bank automatically triggers a process of loan pre-approval process. That means that the bank automatically assesses the SME loan amounts that would be required for that specific SMEs in order to cover his cash flow challenge, and they are running the risk analysis. Again, the risk analysis can be using the internal bank procedure, the internal bank risk engine, or can use an external third-party risk engine. Again, that can be let's say, linked with our platform via an API. Based on the fact that we would have a positive answer to the risk assessment, then, very simple, the bank will automatically communicate with the clients via short notice, irrespective of the channel. Could be, I don't know, email, SMS, WhatsApp, whatever channel is the preferred communication channel of that client. And the SME administrator can then read the communication, understand that he has a problem, if he's interested and has a solution at his disposal, and if he's interested in doing so, just click the button and then go deep down into the solution and understand if it is of interest for him or not. Practically, what we offer a platform, a very, very flexible and integrated platform, where we have an end-to-end digital flow for SME lending. It's a full lending solution that is pre-built based on the self-service, no-code Innovation Studio. That is the name that we have on Innovation Studio, which gives our client the flexibility to develop new journeys or new products, better to say, I mean, the clients being the banks, and rapidly extend or enhance the existing one. This is what we call the personalization of the product. And this personalization product or design of the product is built on top of data evolutive core that contains data repository, all set of predefined integration and core administration part of the loan, like contracts, interest rate, commission, disbursement, collection, flow of payments, so on and so forth. This is practically, everything is pre-built, everything is seamlessly, and the banks have at their disposal the self-service. That's the most thing. The banks will become independent in offering this service to their client, in personalizing the product to the client. Because as I said early on, the personalization, we think that personalization for SME banking is the most important thing that we could bring on the table. Personalization and ecosystem integration. So I wish you a great day from now on. Sorry, I've seen that my time is up.
Yeah, it
Thank
is.
you for your attention, and I'm looking forward for your questions.